Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of SacTown Movie Buffs. Once again, I'm Kier, and this is Jason. And today we are going to be doing another movie or pairing of movie reviews. We're going to be reviewing The Host as well as Black as King. Both of them.
It's not The Host, it's just Host.
Okay. Host, yeah.
Whatever. The Host is different. That's a different movie.
Host and Black as King.
There you go.
We'll be doing a review on both. Both of them are streaming. I can't remember where I found these, actually.
Host is on Shudder, and
right.
Black as King is on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. So you'll have to pay for those subscriptions if you want to see them. I don't even know if you can get those anywhere else besides those two streaming services, though. So that are, probably not. I don't know. Some of them you can just find readily available anywhere. I don't know. These ones might be more exclusive to like Disney Plus or Shudder. That's what I mean. So
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, with that said, let's get right into it, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you start off with Host, if you don't mind. If you want to tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah. Host is a new movie available on Shudder, like you said. That has some notoriety surrounding it because it is the first, as far as anybody I know knows, the first horror movie using the COVID-19 pandemic as kind of the framework for the movie. So it's got some notoriety, it's got some buzz around it because of that, I think partially, which is cool. I get it. So the plot of the movie is. There you go. The plot of the movie is that a group of 6 friends, I think it's 6, I'm pretty sure it's 6 friends, who decide to, they're all on quarantine, they're all on lockdown, they're all not seeing each other, but they're hanging out with each other on Skype or Zoom or whatever they're using in the movie. I think it's Zoom, actually. And they decide to, and they live all over the world, too. They're I think they do anyway.
They're mostly in the UK, I feel like.
Yeah, I think they're mostly in UK. Although the first actress is American or doesn't at least have an accent. Not that it matters, but they're all hanging out basically on Zoom. They're friends, and they decide to have they decide to try having a séance over Zoom. So if you've ever seen a horror movie, you know that having a séance is usually a bad idea. Apparently, even if you're not all in the same room. Maybe especially if you're not all in the same room. I don't know. But they decide to have this séance, and pretty early on, the circle gets broken, kind of, so to speak, because some of them are taking it seriously, some of them are not taking it seriously, but they get off to a rocky start, and that's part of what maybe opens the door for some creepy stuff to start happening. So Host it's a movie not just using the COVID-19 pandemic, but also using as a basis those kind of movies like Unfriended, both of the Unfriended movies, wherein the entire movie is essentially you're watching a screen. So I like those movies so far. I've liked both of the Unfriended movies. There's one other similar one that I can't.
Searching? Is it Searching kind of like that too?
I like Searching a lot too. Yeah. Searching got a little hinky toward the end, but I did like that. So just to cut to the chase, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's also, I should mention, it's only about 54 minutes or something like that. So it's real short. It's barely even, I guess, I don't know if that qualifies as a short film or if it's feature film. I don't know. But if you've got an hour to kill, and if you have Shudder and you're a horror fan, it's definitely worth spending an hour of your time on, I think. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Like, I liked keeping track. It's kind of one of those movies where you have to kind of watch multiple things going on the screen at one time. And it is scary. I kind of wished I had watched it at nighttime. I watched it during the day. So I kind of wished I would have watched it in the dark. I did have the curtains drawn, but it wasn't as dark as I wanted it to be. But I thought it was fun. It didn't feel like it needed to drag itself out to an hour and a half, which I think it might have struggled with a little bit. But for an hour long little creature feature, I had a lot of fun with it. And I thought it had a really cool ending. Like the ending actually made me jump and yell and then laugh at myself. So if you like horror movies, obviously, but if you like the kind of interactive experience like this, then I definitely recommend it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. So I had fun with it. How about you?
Yeah, no, actually, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I like that it was so short, and I kind of agree with you as well. It seems like one of those kinds of films, kind of like, well, I know that was a little different. I was gonna say like Game of Death, but that one actually, I don't know, because they didn't give you any kind of character development. But that one was short also. But I like when it's just short and kind of neatly compacted. But a film that's pretty much shot over basically a Zoom meeting. You know what I mean? Like, how long would you even do that? You know what I mean? Like, no one's going to sit on Zoom for 2 hours typically. So, but I definitely thought it was pretty scary and suspenseful. And with it only being an hour long, you don't have to wait very long for the suspense to start building up either. So they get pretty quickly. You start figuring out what's going on. But yeah, I thought it was a good film. Overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's just short, sweet, to the point. It definitely has some scary moments in it. I like the ending as well, like you did too. Not too many really big flaws with it or anything like that. I mean, you could always. A lot of people could argue logic. Just turn the Zoom meeting off and leave or something. But you know what I mean. But other than that, it's not. It's not too. It's not too. There's not too many flaws with it, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, yeah, and I also wanted to say, I lost my train of thought, but I'm one of my pet peeves is like those face filters that people use.
Yeah, like the dog filters and the ears and stuff like that.
Say face on you or like ears or whatever. This probably has the best usage of a face filter I've ever seen.
Right.
Actually, I was like, ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I was going to say, like, it's even more impressive for the fact that it is obviously a very independent, very low budget film. So I think especially the fact that it was made during a pandemic with very little money, like very economic use of special effects. I thought it was really impressive for something to be done by probably a very small group of people.
Yeah. I got to imagine they didn't have a giant film crew because they really were probably during the pandemic time. So I got to imagine the film crew was probably pretty small. They used for that, but something like that, I don't know if you would need a large film crew for something that's essentially kind of shot over like a camera using Zoom and that kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe you just need director and some guys come in and set up some lighting, and that's what I mean. And then the special effects are probably done mostly post work. So
yeah.
So I mean, my point is, it just shows that you can make films during a pandemic. I mean, granted, you're not going to make Fast and Furious 18 or nothing like that probably during the pandemic, but you know what I mean. You could make a film like this during the pandemic. It just shows that it can be done and it can still be good. So,
yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So filmmakers, if you're watching, get to work.
Yeah, stop sitting on your butt.
That's right. That's right. Cool. Well, I'll go ahead and handle the next one,
Right.
which is also kind of a different film in a sense, which is Black is King. If most people probably have heard about this one, it's like Beyonce's, basically her version of The Lion King, but also an album movie, basically. So basically, it's her Black is King album, where it's like a series of songs with kind of in the backdrop is kind of like her pseudo version of The Lion King, basically, is the best way to describe it. So basically, it chronicles through her album, and it's just a visual masterpiece, in my opinion. I mean, visually, it's like one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Like visually, with the sound and the colors are just so vibrant and popping out everywhere. And I don't know, she must have we tried to count how many outfits she was actually wearing at one point. Yeah. And, it was like some of the songs, literally, she changed outfits probably 13 times. You know what I mean? And like just all the colors were just so vivid. And it was filmed primarily set in Africa. And so it was a lot of African dance. There was African artists that she included, including some American ones as well, like Pharrell Williams and Kendrick Lamar and a few other people as well. And then Jay-Z's in there also for one of the songs also. But yeah, it's just a really visual masterpiece. And I liked a lot of the songs. I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan per se. I don't think I've ever bought any of her albums that I can think of, but I've always liked a few songs here and there from some of her albums. But I liked a lot of the songs. Like I said, they have a really good African vibe, African feel. I didn't love every single song, but I liked a lot of them. But I think really visually is kind of what you're kind of going for with that. And then I liked how the visuals kind of matched whatever the song was doing as well. And I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of popping on the screens and stuff like that when the songs got heavy. And that was cool that, there was like African rappers and African singers and singing in their native language in some cases, or native tongue. I thought that was really cool. The story itself, I mean, I can't say that I really followed along with what exactly was happening in the backdrop, because I felt like it was like they would use a line from Hakuna Matata. You know what I mean? And then it would just go directly to a song, you know what I mean, that had nothing to do with, probably with that line necessarily or anything like that. But overall, I thought it was a fun film. Can't say that I was bored or anything. When it first came on, I was a little questionable because it took me a minute to kind of get into the flow of the song with her and all the outfits and stuff like that. But about midway through, you kind of get used to it, and I felt like it got better as it went on, in my opinion. So just my overall take.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was great. I still have zero interest in seeing that new Lion King movie. Right. To me, this is the only Lion King remake that I want to see. I thought it was great. I am a Beyonce fan. I wasn't originally, but the self-titled album that came out in 2015, 16. The self-titled album and Lemonade, I think, are amazing albums. So those two albums brought me on board. So I'm definitely a fan. And yeah, this is a really cool. I guess they call it a visual album these days for her companion album to that Lion King remake that I still have no interest in seeing. But this I thought was a really cool film. Like you said, the visuals are out of this world, like literally.
Yeah. I honestly would be surprised if it doesn't get nominated, if not win, for costume design or something of that nature. You know what I mean? Just the visuals and that sort of stuff from it. So, it just seems, especially in a year like this where there's not a lot of films coming out to begin with. So,
the sets and the costumes, the number of costumes is just absurd. And
I mean, she probably had on 100 different outfits in that film. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's not 100 minutes long, so that should tell you something.
Right.
So, but yeah, I don't even want to know what the budget was like on this, because some of those costumes, you see them for 2 seconds,
right? And
you see this amazing costume that probably cost $2 million to even use one day. Right. And you see it for 2 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't very long at all. I mean, it was like you said, you would see it for we started counting, and then we'd be like, did she wear that one already in the song, or was that a new one? And then we're like, nope, that's a new one. We haven't seen that one yet. And then she was on to the next costume design or the next outfit that she was wearing. And they were all really over the top. We're talking giant fedora hats and just crazy
made out of diamond,
bright colors, and it's just visually you're just like, wow, this is kind of stunning. And then the music was good as well. I mean, I liked quite a few of those songs. As soon as the movie was over, I went and kind of listened to the actual album. I didn't love every song from the album, so I just downloaded the ones that I really liked or whatever to a playlist. But yeah, I definitely liked a lot of those songs, and typically the more upbeat ones were the ones that I liked a little bit more. But it was it's visually, I thought it was just a marvel to watch visually. So in my opinion,
and something also that I thought was really cool is that if this wasn't an international super celebrity, it would be considered an art film, really. You know what I mean? It's like, and I think that's really cool to bring something like that to Disney Plus. That way, young kids, are getting exposed to this kind of, like, it's a really surreal movie in a lot of ways. It plays like an art film. Like, it's got all this nonlinear logic. It doesn't have a story that precedes ABC. Really, you have to kind of
and like I said, that would be the only knock. If anybody was going to be critical of it, they might say, well, it doesn't really follow any kind of logic or story. But I didn't feel like it really needed to, just because the visuals were. And I don't know if that's what they were really trying to go to. You know what I mean? So, so.
No, I think it's like a little art film for Disney Plus, and I think it's really cool that it's exposing kids to that kind of nonlinear storytelling and like surreal visuals and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
cool.
Looks
like we're in agreement.
Sound like agreement on both films. So
yeah, totally.
But we'll find out here shortly.
Well, I'm sure you'll rate everything 1 star below me. That's usually how it goes.
That's just what I like to do, man.
Yeah.
Keep you on your toes.
And that's when we feel the exact same way too, which is funny. Yeah.
Yeah. I tend to be a little bit more conservative on the grading, and you tend to not.
You only live once.
Yeah, that's right, man. 5 stars across the board, baby.
Right. That's right. Art is art.
All right. Well, let's start with host. Overall grade and face you would give that one.
I would give Host a solid 4 out of 5. That's my version of a B+. So it'd be this face. So nice, solid smile. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Cool. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Ooh, narrowing the gap a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna give it this face, which is a smile with some teeth.
All right.
So, Pearly White's time up in here, baby.
Pearly Whites.
Yes. And Black is King. Same deal on that. Face or grade and face you would give it.
Yeah, I would give that 4.5 out of 5. So for me, that's an A-, which is this face. Cheesing it. Loved it.
I'm actually going to give it the same grade as the host. I think I'm actually going to give that a 3.5 out of 5 as well. And the other reason is because it's, and like I said, not to be nitpicky, but for one, I couldn't say that I loved every single song, and two, so I'm kind of like waiting for that song to end if it wasn't a song that I really cared for, and then for two, like I said, the story. It almost didn't really need to be even Lion King themed, you know what I mean? It could have just been a visual album, you know what I mean? Because it's so loosely Lion King in there, I guess, if you will. So, But I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5, and I'm going to give it this face, which is the exact same face, a smile with some teeth.
All right.
Cool.
Get those teeth out in the sun, man. Get those teeth out in the sun. Let them shine.
That's right, man. Let them shine, man. Shining bright like a diamond. Well, cool. Well, thanks for watching the channel. Hopefully you like the reviews. Let us know in the comments if you've seen either of these films and your thoughts or your takes on it. As always, if you like the channel, we ask that you like and subscribe to the channel as well. And, of course, always hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our new updates or uploads whenever we present them. We thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope you have a great day. Bye.